Coming up next on Win News, paying for access to your local newspapers online. The big supermarkets lift milk prices to help farmers, and the footy team banned for being too violent.
Across the Illawarra, South Coast and Southern Highlands, this is Win News.
Tonight, free online local newspapers about to become a thing of the past. Gilmore's and St Marlis off to New York. And a clean-up order issued for the stricken Iron Chieftain. Good evening, I'm Geoff Phillips. Also coming up tonight, the final chapter in reforming the state's RSL clubs. Illawarra and South Coast residents who've been used to getting their online local newspapers for free are in for a shock in the next fortnight. Fairfax Media, owners of the Illawarra Mercury and multiple other mastheads on the Highlands and coast, will go behind paywalls from the 2nd of October.
A new subscription promising around-the-clock digital access to local news, sport and opinion at a price. Fairfax papers, the Illawarra Mercury, South Coast Register, Southern Highland News, Goulburn Post and Bega District News will go behind paywalls come October 2. Jordan Matthews, Win News.
Gilmore MP and St Marlis will head overseas for the remainder of the year after accepting an offer of a 3-month secondment to the United Nations General Assembly in New York. The move follows Miss St Marlis's fiery speech to Parliament in which she announced she won't contest the next election and level bullying allegations against State Liberal Gareth Ward. Miss St Marlis says she looks forward to the opportunity to represent the government at the UN while at the same time committing to continue representing her constituents. The hunt is on for firebugs who deliberately lit 8 fires in bushland at Albion Park yesterday. Rural Fire Service and fire and rescue crews worked into the night to extinguish the blazes, slamming the arsonists' actions as deadly.
Fire and rescue crews hosed down what firebugs were so quick to light. Hot and windy conditions fanned 8 fires through bush off Croom Road yesterday, each one deliberately lit.
Woolworths and Coles have both introduced 10 cents a litre levies on new drought relief milk brands to help support dairy farmers. Industry bodies say it's a good start, but supermarkets should go further and add the levy to all milk brands.
With milk prices low and the rising cost of inputs, it's difficult for dairy farming to remain sustainable. Alice POHLNER, Win News.
The owners of the Iron Chieftain, still moored at Port Kembla after it caught fire in June, have been issued with a clean-up notice by the Environment Protection Authority. The EPA says its remarkable Port Kembla harbour wasn't polluted in the incident and is taking extra care to ensure no spillage occurs in stage 2 of the lengthy clean-up.
3 months on and the Iron Chieftain hasn't budged. The fire broke out on the conveyor belt on June 18 while dolomite was being unloaded at BlueScope. It continued to burn for 5 days.
Coming up next on Win News, an Illawarra childcare group sanctioned by the government back in business. And West Dapto residents take their demands for better services to State Parliament. Current and future residents of West Dapto packed the public gallery at State Parliament this afternoon to hear a speech calling on the government to invest in their area. The speech has formed part of a debate on the proposed Kembla Grange prison, a proposal which has been dropped by the state government.
Piling on the Parliament-bound bus, the residents against Dapto Jail prepare to send a strong message to the state government.
We are a community and we do have a voice.
It comes after the group collected close to 15,000 signatures against the proposal.
A company with 80 home daycare centres in the Illawarra has been given the green light by authorities to continue operating. Early Years Care had been threatened with sanctions over non-compliance issues in June, but after a 3-month battle, it has returned to full operation.
Tears of relief for staff at Early Years Care who thought just 3 months ago they would have to close. In June, the Department of Education said it intended to impose sanctions for non-compliance.
Police from Lake Illawarra and Wollongong commands are used to working side by side, but this weekend they'll go head-to-head in the annual Graham Donnelly Memorial Cup. The fixture raises money for Police Legacy.
We've won a couple of years, they've won a couple of years, and they'll be fighting hard to win this match on Sunday.
Time for sport now with Amy, and a grand final berth awaits for the St George Illawarra women.
It does, Jeffrey. It will be a big battle up front, but a win against the Sydney Roosters will seal the deal. Dapto's Group 1 megastar will be run and won tonight, and the Illawarra Hawks shoot down the Brisbane Bullets at the NBL Blitz. In sport, the new-look Illawarra Hawks have finally clicked into gear, demolishing the Brisbane Bullets in the opening game of the NBL Blitz in Bendigo. Jordan Jed again proving he'll be one of the players to watch this season.
The exclamation mark on a dominant Hawks performance. A 91-69 win over Brisbane at the Blitz, the club's first triumph of the pre-season.
Football South Coast officials are excited by the prospect of a Tottenham Hotspur Academy at the University of Wollongong. The watershed deal was announced yesterday, opening the door for players studying for a degree to also pursue elite training on campus.
Get those qualifications at the same time as pursuing, some great development is obviously going to attract players to the area.
Staying with rugby league, and Group 6 has kicked the Oran Park Gregory Hills Chargers out of the reserve grade competition. It comes after a number of ugly incidents in the dying minutes of their grand final against Mittagong, which forced officials to call the game off. And that is our sport, Geoff.
See you for the Friday edition tomorrow.
That you will.
Snow report is coming up, but first Chris is here with the weather.
I'll have details plus the forecast after the break.
This report brought to you by Australia Post, helping Australian communities every day.
Welcome back. Maximum temperatures were near to or below average today. Tonight's weather photo is from Jasper. This 12-year-old fantastic photographer captured these trees looking skyward in Tathra. Good eye there, Jasper. Keep up the good work, mate. If you have a weather photo and you want to see it on the screen, send it through to us. The address is weather@wintv.com.au. Let's now look at some details from around the region. Well, a few cool starts for the North. Bowral dropping down to 0 through the night. A mild one for Bulli, winds getting up to 41 k's, and in Goulburn it was -4 at daybreak, but it felt closer to -7. Now on the south coast, stronger winds at Fort Narooma gusting to 54 k's today. Eden spent most of the day in the mid-teens. Onto the satellite image now. A high pressure system over central Australia is extending a ridge into New South Wales in the wake of a cold front. On the synoptic chart, this high will drift slowly east during the next day or two and is expected to be over the Tasman Sea by the weekend. The next cold front is forecast to affect most districts on Sunday. Now onto the waters. Nice conditions tomorrow. Sunshine with winds between 10 and 15 knots. Seas will be just under a metre. To the forecast for the Illawarra and Southern Highlands, sunny tomorrow with some areas of fog and frost inland in the early morning. Picton starting the day on 2 and climbing to 23 degrees. Bowral 1 to 19, 18 the top for Goulburn, and Ulladulla will see a top of 18 degrees as well. Having a look at the south coast, we've got similar conditions. Batemans Bay 21 degrees, sunshine in Narooma, 1 to 21 will be the stretch, 19 the top for Merimbula and also for Eden. Now for Wollongong tomorrow, we've got sunshine with some light winds, a high of 19 degrees, sunrise at 5:47 a.m. And in the days ahead on Saturday, fog and frost about for a partly cloudy day. Sunday will be cloudy with a medium chance of showers, light winds are expected, and on Monday cloudy again with just a slight chance of showers. So looking forward to a sunny Friday, Geoff.
Chris, a nice way to end the week. Now with our weekly conditions on the snowfields, here's Erin Ramsey.
It's a bluebird beauty here in Thredbo. The winds have eased off and we're in for another day of fabulous spring conditions.
And that is Win News for Thursday the 20th of September. To view some of our reports, visit the Win News Illawarra Facebook page. I'm Geoff Phillips. Coming up next is The Project. Until 6 tomorrow, good night.
This has been a Win News presentation. Win News, Regional Australia's #1 news source.